I'm Crystal. I am 28 years old and I am 3 weeks post-op from a prophylactic bilateral mastectomy. I wanted to document everything that I've been going through and further document everything I will be going through, because as I was making the decision to do this surgery, there wasn't a lot of information for me to find as I was doing my research. This decision was not difficult for me. Um, I'd actually never heard of a prophylactic mastectomy before, and then maybe 8 months to a year ago, my friend Levi told me that his sister was getting a prophylactic mastectomy, and it intrigued me, and I immediately went to my doctor and started asking questions. And since then, it seems like every time I turn around, maybe every week or so, I hear of somebody else doing it, or an article comes out on CNN about it, or somebody looking into it. And it's really empowering to me to see so many women try to take control of their lives. But I know that it's not an easy decision for most people to make. I know it can be an emotional decision. I know that it usually takes a while for people to make this decision. Most women identify their femininity with their breasts and their hair, and you don't want to lose either one of those by any means, but especially your breasts. And so I know that it's difficult to try to identify with that. But for me, I wanted to do whatever was going to make me healthy, keep me healthy. Um, so let me tell you a little bit about me. I am, like I said, 28 years old, professional career person. When I was 16, almost 17, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. She was 38. I guess I was 17. She did survive, but she had a very long, tough road. It was very difficult to watch her go through it, but she did come out fine. When I was 21, I started showing signs of cervical cancer, and I had a long road with that. And finally, at the age of 24, I had a partial hysterectomy to remove my cervix and my uterus. The cancer had spread into my uterus, and they were not aware of that, so I'm glad that I was able to do that surgery. And so when I heard about the prophylactic mastectomy, there was really no question in my mind about doing the surgery, because between my mother's history and my history, I needed to do whatever I could to try to stay healthy and prolong my healthiness. And so I really didn't even question it. I really didn't even give my husband an opportunity to say yes or no. It was kind of just, hey, I'm going to do this, and I want to do this. And luckily, he was able to support me through it. So I want to tell you a little bit about what I've experienced in the past 3 weeks. I wish I would have thought about documenting this beforehand, but I didn't. So I'm going to tell you what I've been going through for the past 2 weeks, and then what's coming up. So I was in the hospital overnight. How they did my surgery was, and I'm still bandaged, as you can see, but how they did my surgery is they cut underneath my breasts. I was able to do the nipple sparing surgery, so I did not lose my nipples. I know a lot of women have cuts all the way across, or maybe even up and down, I've seen. But mine are underneath. They're healing so well right now. I can't even describe how excited I am that they're healing so well. And you really can't even see the scar, because the way the breast falls naturally, it's right in that crease. So you really can't even see the sutures right now, and I shouldn't have a scar that's visible once it's done healing. I did have 4 drains, 2 on each side, and they were right there. The first drain came out 1 week after surgery. Second drain came out a week after that. Those were the 2 large drains. You have 2 large drains and 2 small drains. I've heard of some people have only 2 or 3 drains. I have 4. So if you have 4, you'll probably end up the same as me. The 2 larger drains, the tubes are physically larger. They're tougher. They don't bend as easily. I mean, they bend as you move them, but you have to kind of tug the lines to be able to drain them into the suction bowl, and they don't bend as well when you do that. And then you have 2 smaller ones that are physically much smaller tubes. The larger ones are actually longer as well. They go in at the entry point. Mine were down here. I've seen some that are actually up here, but they literally wrap all the way around. So if I went to sit up and I kind of hunched over, I could feel that tube between my expander and my rib cage, and it was extremely uncomfortable. And then I could also feel it, literally feel it in my skin up here. The smaller ones go into the insertion point and they go directly into the middle of the breast, into where the expander is. So I just got my small ones removed today. It's been 3 weeks. They were supposed to hopefully come out by the end of last week, and they didn't. I took a little bit longer to slow down my drainage. They actually only expected to remove one of the smaller drains today, and then they decided at the last minute to go and pull both of them. So hopefully I won't have any drainage buildup and cause any type of problems or infection, because I don't want to have to go through another surgery for that. But I trust my surgeon. I do have 2 surgeons. I have my oncology surgeon, who I have not yet seen post-op. I go back to him next week for my post-op with him. And then I have my plastic surgeon. I am going through 2 of the best surgeons in our area, which is comforting to me. I know I can trust them. And I've been going to my plastic surgeon every week for my follow-ups. And my surgeon's office has been amazing. I can call up the girls and ask any question I want to at any point, and they're always there to help me. And I've literally been in contact with them every 2 or 3 days, it seems like, over the past maybe 2 weeks. So hopefully if you choose to do surgery, and hopefully you have the same experience with your surgeon's office. I was in the hospital for 1 night. I was able to come home the next day, no problems that I had with the surgery. So I came home the very next day. I could not get comfortable on my couch. I could not. When you first have a surgery, your arms do not go down to your sides. So you kind of are just out like this, kind of like a half mummy. And so we kind of built up my bed similar to how they had me in the hospital, and we propped up all my pillows, and we had pillows on each side of me for me to rest my arms on, because my arms can't, they're very limited on mobility. And even to this point, that's about as high as they go, just enough to throw my hair into a messy bun and call it good. So that's a little bit of a challenge. To this day, 3 weeks post-op, I still cannot get comfortable on the couch. I tried again last night. I couldn't get comfortable sitting down, and then it was extremely difficult to still get up. You don't realize how much you actually use those chest muscles until you can feel them. My expander, I do have 2 expanders in, one on each side, obviously, and they are under the breast muscle, under my pectoral. And fitness instructors are not kidding when they say that your core is all connected. I thought I would be able to use my ab muscles to help get me up, and by using my ab muscles, it pulls on my chest muscles, and you feel everything. Just moving your arms, reaching my arm out to get a drink, I feel it pull on the side. So you don't realize how often you use your chest muscles until you feel them. So that part's uncomfortable. My pain was actually not too bad. I think I typically have a little bit higher pain tolerance than most people, but for the first week, I took my pain pills religiously every 4 hours. I was on Demerol and Percocet. I kind of alternated back and forth. And I did that because I didn't want to fall behind. So I actually woke up at 2 a.m. and at 6 a.m. every morning to take my pills every 4 hours, because from previous surgeries and times that I've been on pain pills, if you miss, that time, it takes a while to catch back up and you're in quite a bit of pain. So I didn't want to do that. So I stayed religious every 4 hours taking the Demerol and Percocet pills. After about a week, I took them only in the mornings, because you're very stiff in the morning when you wake up. You've been laying there all night not moving. You can't sleep on your side. You can't sleep on your stomach. You're literally laying on your back, elevated and propped up on pillows, and you can't move. So you are pretty stiff in the morning when you wake up. And then I took them at night to kind of ease my tension from the day, kind of relax my muscles, and help me get to sleep, which worked out pretty well. I did that for about a week, and then for the past week, I've been taking them only at night, again, to kind of ease my tension, relax my muscles, and help me to get to sleep. It's been working out really well. I'm expecting to probably stop taking those in the next few days now that my drains are out. The majority of my discomfort was from my drains. I could feel they're sutured in. You don't realize that. I didn't even know that until we went for the first appointment to get the first one out. They literally put a stitch to hold them in. And so every time you go to drain them, if you tug on them, every time you move and you maybe catch your tubes, it pulls and it does not feel well. Not to mention, especially when the larger ones are in, you feel them inside of you, and it's very unnatural. Um, and you know, since my drains were in for a full 3 weeks, I'm quite a bit sore on my sides, especially my left side. Um, and so that kind of also limits my movement because I am sore on my sides from having those. My bandages, since they came out today, I have them. The holes will be bandaged for 24 hours, and then they'll start to heal on their own. And then I can take a shower. Now, I will say, showers are so complicated. It is ridiculous. For the first week, I just had baby wipes, and I would just try to sponge myself off with baby wipes. And then after I got my first 2 drains out, they said that I could take a shower. But you have tubes and you have drains and you have the suction bulbs, and you can't very well hold them and then still be able to wash your hair, or shave, or soap up, or anything. You can't do anything. So you get a little bit creative. And what I did, I took a halter bikini top and I put it around my neck. I did not tie it around my back. And then I took my drainage bulb and I pinned them to the triangle of the bikini top. That worked out really well. I did catch my tubes a couple times in the shower, so I had to be very careful to move around. You do have to put like Neosporin antibacterial ointment on the insertion of the tubes so that water doesn't get in there. So you have to do that before you get into the shower. So it is a process to take a shower with those drains. I am so excited that in 24 hours I can take these bandages off and I can get in the shower and not have to worry about that. I can't tell you how excited I am. If you're going through this, you know what I'm talking about. So that part is fantastic. So let's see, I talked about showering, I talked about my drains, I talked about my pain and my medication level. I was on anti-inflammatory, antibiotic, anti-nausea, and then pain pills. So I was on quite a few medications for especially that first week. So how I'm feeling now, I'm feeling great. I wouldn't say great, as far as great pre-surgery, but I feel great considering my boobs have been removed, basically. I am moving around a little bit more every single day. My arms are able to move a little bit more, and I expect that now that my drains are out, that I'll be able to move around quite a bit more, at least move my arms. Now, for me, since it took so long for my drains to slow down, I still have to be wrapped for another 3 days, and I still have to take it easy for another 3 days before I can start getting on with my life. After that, so I'm hoping this weekend, today's a Wednesday, I'm hoping this weekend I can start, wearing sports bras and getting out of the house and going stir crazy. I want to go to the store. I just want to walk around. I don't even care. I don't even need to buy anything. I go to the park. Something. I need to get out of the house. And it's difficult to do that with drinking. So I'm looking forward to that. I obviously still have to take it easy for a few more days, and then even after that, it's not like I'm going to be able to go to the gym or even be able to, lift anything heavier than a laptop. That's basically what I've been lifting. That's it. But with all things considered, I feel great, and that's really good for me. What's coming up next is my expander session. My first expander session will be 2 weeks from today, which I'm extremely excited about, to start seeing how I'm going to start looking in the future. Right now, I have this started me out with 250 cc's. I am I guess you can consider me a full-figured woman. I'm not petite, I guess you could say, by any means. So 250 cc's to me, I think I might be like maybe a B cup. My husband thinks I'm more of an A cup. I do look pretty flat. I know that everybody's different, so I know that 250 cc's on a smaller, petite figured woman might look like a B or a C. But it looks pretty small for me. I'm not going to show you, obviously, because I'm bandaged, but I will stand up. And you can see that I do have a little bit of figure. However, the curves are more down into the side. That's kind of where my expanders are sitting. They are not kind of in the front where you would expect them to be, especially being underneath the chest muscle. But my doctor told me this morning that as they go to expand, those expanders will start to unfold and fill out, and I will start to come out more versus, where I am right now. So from the side, I'm pretty freaking flat. But there you can see, the curvature of where my expander is sitting right now, and hopefully, it'll start to fill out this way more as they expand. So that's in 2 weeks. I'm super excited about that. I can't wait to move forward and see how I'm going to look and go from there. I will do a video before that to show what I look like pre-expander, and then I will document every appointment that I have. My surgeon thinks it'll probably take 4 sessions every 2 weeks to get me to back to where I was. I was a 38D before my surgery, and that's kind of where I want to stay. So probably 4 appointments. I'll document everything all the way through my implant surgery. So let's hope everything goes well. I will say that it may have been an easy decision for me, but I understand that it's not for everybody else. And if there's any questions that you have that I did not address, whatever those questions may be in my video, please feel free to reach out to me. I only want to help everybody that I can to be able to understand what it is they're going to go through and how they'll feel. The one thing that I will say that I did not know, and I wish that I would have known before my surgery, is that there are actual camisoles and bras that have pockets for your drainage tubes, so you don't have to try to pin them to your shirts. That would have been fantastic to know, and I wish that I would have known that, so I could have bought one to wear, especially when I left the house. I had to go to the salon, the hair salon, to get my hair washed because I couldn't wash it on my own that first week. And I wasn't comfortable dunking my head into a sink and letting a family member wash it. It's not quite comfortable when your chest hurts. So that's something that I would encourage everybody to look at, are the post-mastectomy camisoles. So if there's anything that I did not address, any questions that you have, please feel free to reach out to me. I hope that everybody does their research before making this decision, and I hope that everybody that does do the surgery comes out healthy and no complications. I know that that's not ideal, and that's not the real world for some people, but that's what I hope for everybody. And I will also say, today is the first day that I have had makeup on. I did not want to look dead in this video, so it was a little challenging to be able to put eyeliner on when my arm has not been up in front of me in that position for a few weeks, and putting mascara on and having a steady hand and things like that was difficult. But don't feel like you need to get right up after your surgery and have makeup on and that everybody looks perfect afterwards, because I for sure look like I should be in The Walking Dead after my surgery. So I wanted to look presentable and not dead in this video, and so please be realistic when you do surgery, because it's not realistic for you to look perfect afterwards for many weeks, potentially. So heal at your own pace, and let me know if you have any questions. Take care.